welcome to what we call the greatest sports show on planet Earth. This is Sports in 60 Minutes, brought to you on our Rebel Studios. I'm Femi Farawe. I'm excited to have you join us today. There's so much to talk about from the Nigerian football scene. We've got details from the Paralympic Games, and there's a bit of this and that as the NPFL is in full swing this weekend. I'll be doing this with the usual guys, the usual suspects, I call them. Got Princewill Oviesan right here. Princewill, it's good to see you again once.
It's a pleasure being on set with you, Femi.
All right, today you've got a smile, so I'm assuming only positive things today.
Time will tell.
All right. Someone who's always positive and brings out just positive vibes is Francisca Nwobodo. She's also here with some good stuff today.
You guys are looking very calm. What's going on?
The
game is, by the corner. Super Eagles playing recently.
Are you worried?
I'm not worried. You can see I'm calculated, so calm. I'm ready to go.
In charge. What's this? There's nothing to worry.
Anyways,
I'm worried. Francisca, you had to bring this out. So you know what we're going to do right now?
We'll take a break.
Yes. Then we'll come back from the break. We'll talk about everything Nigerian football. Okay, so welcome back. We've got loads to touch on, and we're just going to get straight into it. Sports in 60 Minutes on iRival Studios. Femi, Princewill, and Francisca. Now let's start out with the biggest story from the Nigerian football scene. Victor Osimhen to Galatasaray. Now remember the last time we were here, the question was Chelsea or Al Ahly. But eventually Galatasaray came through after the European window opened or closed, because theirs was still open just a bit. So our quick details. First would be a loan deal, right, for 1 season. He's got the option to leave in January if a major club brings an offer. And they've also lowered his asking fee in terms of Napoli from 130 million to 75 million. Prince, this must cheer you up. There's no way you'd be a naysayer or the Grinch on this story.
Good news for Victor, especially Napoli saying the reason to bring down the asking fee from 103 to 78. The Bruaha and the whole Guadmaya that surrendered the transfer of Victor Osimhen was not necessary. I believe that there should have been an understanding between the club and Victor himself before this whole issue came up. But it's a good one, a big sigh of relief for him. He'll be focused on other assignment that comes his way.
All right, Francisca, we know that he's not a part of the Super Eagles at the early stage. Are you going to make excuses for him missing out early enough to come into camp? Or does this just mean we should give him that sort of opportunity?
What opportunity?
To sort his future out.
Like playing the game. I, for one, would not want to see him in the game, because it's not settled. He's not apologized.
You know what, Francis, I made a mistake. I walked into a trap.
I don't understand. I don't understand. Because you are asking
Let's go about the transfer. Let's go back to the transfer.
Okay.
I made a mistake. I remember that last week.
Okay.
We not settled
Exactly. So I was going to come to you on that.
Let's go to.
So transfer.
All things are past. New things are.
I reference to the past. Yes, in as much as I don't dwell in the past, I will reference to the past. However, transfer, I am disappointed. Yes, I am disappointed, because if you are going to take a loan eventually, then why did you not go to Chelsea? That's the big question.
No, this one,
why did you not get
what Chelsea was offering?
What Chelsea
the salary?
Yes.
The salary was they asked him to receive a pay cut.
Yes.
But between you and I, when we talk about publicity, would you watch a talkie?
Yes.
Do you watch a talkie?
Hold on.
Oh my goodness.
Farawe.
Yes, I do.
Is it the publicity we're talking about, or the money you make?
Also, do not forget that this happened because he no longer had. There was hold on. He no longer had. There was no longer any other this thing on the table, and he felt, I can't be playing. I cannot just sit and not play football for almost 4 months or thereabout. I'd rather take whatever that's come. And that was how Galatasaray came. And there was nothing he could do other than to accept. I can tell you categorically, if Galatasaray had come earlier, he will not go to Galatasaray.
But that was on the table. And
he will not go to Galatasaray.
Would you rather stay out for 4 months?
That was what I said. That was why I said it was because there was no option, no other option.
The special one.
Does he coach Galatasaray?
He coaches Fenerbahce.
So are they playing in the Champions League?
They're in Europa League.
Europa League.
Galatasaray is a top
Napoli is not in the Champions League. Napoli is not in the Europa League.
But of course, you know that you and I will talk about Napoli.
No.
We will talk about Napoli.
No.
We'll talk about the Italian league more than the Turkish league. We will talk about the Italian league more than the Turkish league. You and I know. Let's tell ourselves the truth. And let's not paint what is not in. Honestly.
Can I come in here?
Come in anytime he wants to come in.
The bottom line
conversation
is the successful career of this young man. He needs to get a go-ahead. And he saw one. And he tapped on the opportunity, irrespective of where the league is coming from. At the end of the day, it is the money. I advocated he should go to Saudi Arabia.
Can I ask a question, Princewill?
Yes.
Is it possible for him to get a big club, a big move from Galatasaray, Turkey?
It's going to be difficult.
Exactly.
Yes, it's going to be difficult. Let's be honest. Let's be honest with ourselves. You see, there is this dichotomy a lot of people don't understand when it comes to the transfer markets. It's interwoven. A lot of these clubs speaks to themselves. They have the network. Are you aware that he has sacked his last agent?
Yes.
And that is also...
Not his last agent, the agent he had.
Good.
He's not gotten a new agent.
Okay. That's also a factor. Now, going to Galatasaray is a big relief. Let him go in there. There are conditions he has to fulfill. If a club comes in January, fine. If he doesn't, he continues to the end of the season. He needs to live his life out. Okocha said something, which is very pertinent. Listen, you play football to think about your future, and your future is the money that comes into play. So, if you're going to stay in the iceberg for 4 months and nothing comes in, fine, you'll be collecting the salary, but are you relevant?
I think he is. This is a league Mourinho is in.
No, I'm talking about Victor Osimhen.
I've said this is a league Mourinho, this is a league Balotelli is in.
I don't have any of that.
This is a league Mario Icardi is in.
Going to Turkey, to me, it's a very big play out positive.
See the way the fans showed up just to show the love on Victor Osimhen.
It is.
You know, we're just going to put the zip. No,
let me tell you something. I would rather prefer that he even goes to Saudi Arabia and cash the money.
Yes, I would prefer Saudi Arabia.
I would have preferred because as we speak now, but look at what is on the table. It's all about money now. So why not go and cash out?
He's collecting his wages now.
Compared to what Saudi Arabia would have paid him.
Is there anything wrong in collecting extra money?
How much they were willing to pay him?
Francisca, do you remember what Ronald Koeman said
cash out the money now.
Do you remember what Ronald Koeman said about Steven Bergwijn?
No.
He said Steven Bergwijn just moved to Saudi Arabia and the coach dropped him from the international team list. The reason why he said at 26, if money is what you are chasing now at 26, then there's nothing for you anymore with me in the national team.
Then I think Koeman has something to think about. Because we've seen a lot of players after retirement, they have nothing to fall back on.
You are 26 years old.
David Beckham's son who retired at 22. What do you want to tell him?
His father is a multi-millionaire.
Oscar as well. There was Oscar who went to China at 25.
Still is in China. It's for the money.
And he's making the money.
He's making his money. So you have to define
what football reputation do you have?
You have to define what you want. As we speak now, what football reputation does Osimhen want?
He's African Footballer of the Year.
After that, what else?
He's also played for Nigeria, played the final of the AFCON.
After that, what else?
Plays for the Super League, one of the biggest teams on the African scene.
I'm telling you categorically that if Galatasaray had come earlier when Chelsea came, he would have gone to Chelsea. I can tell you that he's not comfortable with this deal, but we just felt, he didn't have any other option. And Galatasaray came, and he doesn't have any other option other than to go there. Because I would rather prefer, if you are going there for a loan, then why did you not go to Chelsea? At least the eyeballs were there.
Let's move on from you.
Why did you not go to Chelsea if you're going to go for a loan?
Let's move on.
Okay, let's move on, please. We are not fighting. But
because
I'm just telling you the fact.
Very excited that today we're going to be.
I'm ready for you.
Because from one story that Francisca has argued about to a story of positive vibes, Nigeria's Ademola Lookman was listed amongst the players, a 30-man for the Ballon d'Or. That's the 2024 Ballon d'Or. The list was announced this week. So much excitement. Francisca, even you cannot punch a hole in this one.
I'm excited, and it's quite unfortunate. The Victor Osimhen wasn't even there. Was he there?
Did they do too well last season?
That's what I'm asking. Is Victor Osimhen there? Because you just mentioned a whole lot of things. But then, away from that, let's talk about a good story for Ademola Lookman. This is good news. At least we've had consistency in the Ballon d'Or. The last time was Victor Osimhen making the 8th position. Yes. Now he himself, I don't know the position.
On the list. That 30-man list will be put down to, I think, the final.
I think 10 or thereabouts, 10 or 20.
So we'll get to the final 3. but they'll show us where every other person's placement was.
Frozen.
But this is good news for Nigeria. Let me not lie. And
you agree to great story.
Excited.
Does he crack the top 10?
It's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult, but it's a good one that we have somebody from Nigeria in that particular foray of top 30 footballers in the world. You have millions of guys playing the game, and in Europe, if you mention the top 100, throwing it down to top 30, it's a fantastic one for Nigeria.
You know, the favorites for the list so far is Vinicius Jr., Jude Bellingham, Erling Haaland has been mentioned, here and there. Rodri also comes in with a big shout. Manchester City and Spain were victorious from last time. But one thing I also know that there were other categories: Coach of the Year, Goalkeeper of the Year. The South African goalkeeper, Rowan Williams, made the list as well for his exploits at the Africa Cup of Nations, and also what he did for Mamelodi Sundowns. You know, for me, it's a great story for African football generally.
Very big one.
I still sort of missed the point when South Africans came out, right, to still protest and say, can you imagine how Nigerians screamed about Stanley Nwabali? Nwabali, who was good at the Nations Cup, didn't make the list, but Rowan Williams makes the list. And I'm like, look,
it's political.
Africa football made the list. Because last year, Osimhen made top 8. Yeah. I don't remember Nigeria going to South Africa to say, you don't have anyone in the top 8.
No.
I'm saying that as long as Africa is on that list,
Femi,
I'm fine.
Femi, sure you've heard the story of the Uber site.
My goodness.
They're still looking for trouble, don't worry. They'll get more. Because I don't see the correlation between Nwabali and the goalkeeper of South Africa.
Exactly.
Like rightly said, they're all Africans. And we should rejoice and celebrate them.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So we're all good. We're all in agreement.
Yes,
good.
we are. We are good.
Let's go to a story of Chelsea, and this brings the question to you. You spoke about Victor Osimhen. Chelsea have given Nicholas Jackson a new contract, an extension, right? This deal runs until
2027.
2033.
Oh, okay.
2033.
I was mistaken.
So I'm trying to say that Chelsea believe in his ability to have given him this. So it quells any story you say about Osimhen switching, because Chelsea really did not want him to come. If you're going to already give Jackson a few days after a new deal to 2033, that means you didn't want Osimhen to come. You're just going to give him a slave contract.
I disagree with you. See,
our focus is on Jackson now. Because you're about to go back to the Osimhen conversation. I just want to take you back. Jackson signed to 2030. That's a good story.
Okay, good story, because Osimhen didn't come again. So they felt, we don't have any other option. Let's give it to Jackson. And I also want to believe that this will be another opportunity for Jackson to improve on himself, because I remembered recently there was this altercation between him and Mikel Obi, and Mikel Obi told him, you know what, you just have to step up with your game, and it went viral.
What's your take on that situation, by the way? What do you think? Because I personally think that I thought Mikel was out of line.
You think so?
Yes, I think.
No, he's played the game.
No, it doesn't matter.
He played in the team.
It doesn't matter.
He understands.
Did he score goals for Chelsea?
But of course, so
if
the position he played wasn't a position of him scoring goals.
It was not your job. It's like when Roy Keane was criticizing Erling Haaland, and I'm looking at both of them. I'm like, with all due respect, you were a defensive midfielder. This guy scores goals for fun. He's been top scorer twice, and you're criticizing the top scorer. So my point here is, I understand your criticism for Nicholas Jackson, right? I understand when people say he isn't scoring goals, but I think that Mikel could have been a bit more diplomatic. That look, his words were he didn't know how to kick a ball. That's embarrassing. This is a professional footballer. Do you know what it's like to play at the highest level? And you say he doesn't know how to kick a ball. You can say, look, his finishing comes into question, right? And hopefully Chelsea should get a coach for him to improve that. You don't have to go, he doesn't know how to kick a ball.
But are you aware that 2 wrongs do not make it right?
I'm also aware that Mikel Obi, because you want to sell your podcast, you don't have to always bash.
Also, are you aware that you don't react? You don't react to criticism, rather you respond. I would have expected a Jackson to respond to Mikel Obi by doing more on the field of play, and that ends the conversation.
He has scored 3 goals in 2 games.
That ends the so that was the reason why he said step up.
No, but
so you will respond.
Did not say
because the way Amana in with Jackson responded, I felt no.
Princewill, you're giving us this week. As though you have a different opinion.
Respond on the field of play. Consistency. Be consistent.
The truth is that. Nico Jackson last season to me was not really.
But he double digits.
Yes,
scored more goals than even Gigi Drogba.
Yes,
his first season at Chelsea.
I agree, but
So if you praise Drogba, who scored only 20 goals once, why are you giving this guy who is younger than Drogba when he came into the league stick? When he scored double digits.
You just asked me to come in, and I'm coming in.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
For me, I think he's still very young, and Mikel assertion was a little bit too hasty. That's the simple truth.
Yeah.
He's still a young player. How long has he been in Chelsea compared to the Drogba and him himself, who played for Chelsea for close to a decade plus? So I think at times we try to misunderstand some few things. He played the game to that peak. The young man is just coming. He has not gotten to the level he got to. So it's just to give him that. For me, I will have Nico, up your game. We want to see more goals. Not you can't kick the ball.
Because again, why I'm saying this is, and I know that some people say, "Oh, what do I mean?" Chelsea could have bought a striker. Chelsea, beyond Victor Osimhen, there was the Brentford striker who was available, Tony. Chelsea could have gone for another striker. But one thing I've noticed about Jackson, and this is something no one can deny, those chances that Jackson is missing. Take Jackson out, put any of the Chelsea strikers, you probably won't even see those chances. A good example is the game against Man City. After Jackson missed a number of chances, but then they put that McGew. We didn't see those chances. So my question is, how did he create those chances for himself? I think he's a good footballer. I just think that his coaching, get him a coach to work on his finishing.
Are you saying the current coach
Man United, I'm saying that get a specialist. Man United went to get Ruud van Nistelrooy. That, you know what, we've got strikers. Get someone to work on our nines to finish. That's what I think Chelsea should do. And I'm speaking from my points. But you know what?
And that's the reason why he has said, because Mikel has played, he played the game to a level, to a standard.
I come on here and I say, oh, you don't know how to talk.
And I will respond to you by talking more.
And that's what he did.
I will respond to you by talking more so that you will know. I will not say, hey, come on, shut up or keep your mouth shut on what you have said.
No, it depends.
But I'll say, oh, you say I don't know how to talk.
No.
Okay, I will come on air and, you
are expecting
I respond.
No, you're expecting me. That's why if I just walk up to you and just go, you don't know how to talk. First people are like, are you okay? Is everything all right? Are you thinking? Because, hey, it's not talk, I'm talking. So I'm saying that he just saw Mikel quit. I'm like, Even I was like, But you know what? Let's leave that conversation. So we all agree that Jackson signing a new deal. Great one.
It's a good one.
Great.
It's a good one. All right, let's move over now to Chelsea. They have signed new players, including Man United's bad boy, Jadon Sancho. He's in the building. Started training already. Everything seems positive. I hear Chelsea took a couple, or at least a bit of his wages. Not everything. So if the bad boy is in the building, it means all is forgiven.
Well, for me, I feel for Sancho. Reason being that when he left Man U for Dortmund, we saw the sparkle he brought to bear. We saw his contribution in Dortmund. I just felt that when he was coming back to Chelsea, he would be an integral part of the team. But the coach knows better. Manchester United.
Yeah.
The coach knows better. Coming down to Chelsea, he will bring up some bites. He's a player you can always count on.
I like him. I actually do. When they call him bad boy, I think it's a bit premature.
There's a difference between you being bad boy off the pitch and on the pitch.
So, okay, on the pitch is the prodigal son.
Okay.
Off the pitch is a bad boy.
Okay.
Right? That's what they call him. That, he likes to, goes out, comes late for training. But the story is that he's reported for training.
You know what? He's a fine boy compared to Balotelli. Balotelli goes out opposite side.
You already had a fallout with the manager, right? And your game time is going to be limited.
Exactly.
So the likes of Amad Diallo, the likes of Garnacho are starting ahead of you.
I was the guarantee that he will play consistently
even
in
Mason
Chelsea.
Mount is starting ahead of you. So my point is, it's better for you to go to a place where it's a fresh start. Cleans the tabula rasa. He walks into the room and then tries to prove himself. And if at the end of the 1 year, he cannot prove himself, and Chelsea feel, which was what Dortmund couldn't agree with because of the wages, he'll go back to his parent club and they will have to orchestrate a new move. All right, so we've got to touch on a few more stories. Just to quickly mention, AK Athens in Greece are talking to Anthony Martial of Manchester, formerly of Manchester United. He's a free agent. So if you don't know, free agents can still move. He's not the only one. Adrian Rabiot, we've gathered he's been linked with Manchester United. Keylor Navas is available on a free transfer. Some of these players can still make moves before a certain date. So let's just keep you updated with that one. He used to play for Manchester United. We just wish him the best of luck. I'll touch on a few other stories as well. Francisca, let's start off with the Falconets, right? Lost to Germany early this morning. Princewill, you can jump in on this one as well. 3-1, won their first game, lost their second game. They've got one more game to go against Venezuela. What do you think their chances are?
Well, I see them moving to the round of 16. I'll be honest with you. That they lost against Germany doesn't mean that they don't have what it takes.
The fourth time, by the way.
Come again?
Fourth time losing to Germany.
Korea twice losing to us. So, but for me, I think the coach, Olowokere, am I correct?
Yeah,
knows what he's doing. The girls, I didn't see this game. I saw the other first game. I waited late to watch it. I think they have what it takes to go fight the tournament.
You had 9 duties too?
Well, it doesn't really matter.
It's all right.
I was keeping watch.
I'm not in this conversation because I don't have night duties. I put my night duties in sleep. I put it in sleep.
But the truth is, I see them moving to the round of 16.
How about the new coach for the under-20 men, Ali Zubair? Now, he is the coach of El Academy Warriors. Won the Federation's Cup, President Federation. It's a long name now. President's Federation Cup. That's what it is.
You don't want to add the first one.
No, Federation Cup.
There's a name.
No, it's President's Federation Cup.
There's a name.
What's the name there?
Nigerian Federation.
Don't worry. After the
Call
show.
the name now. What's the name?
I don't want my producer to build me.
Your producer will be fine with it. Just call the name.
GTI.
Oh, GTI.
Yes. Yeah.
Ali has got the job anyway for the under-20. He replaces London Boso. Let's see how that turns out. But let's talk about the Paralympic Games before we leave this part of the show. Nigeria has won 2 medals, guaranteed silver and bronze. One from badminton, the first African man or woman to win. That's Miriam Eniola Bolaji. And then we've also got Esther Nwobodo. She won in powerlifting. So great stories.
Also created a new Paralympic record.
Oh, yes, she did.
A great story, and this just brings me to that, liner where they say there is ability in your disability. I've always known that these Paralympians are the ones who, they do well when it comes to Olympics, whether para or the usual Olympics that you and I know. And also, I want to commend the badminton president.
Francis Obi.
Yes, honestly, even though during the normal Olympics, the guys really do well. I think it was a case of him saying to the athletes, you just have to make a statement, and you can see how that happened with Miriam. Good one for them. I'm not disappointed with what they've done so far. I'm happy, and hopefully when they come back, they will be celebrated.
I wish they will be celebrated. Over time, we've seen the Paralympians giving us joy.
Everything.
And they have the slimmest budget.
Wow. Yes. The same reason why the USA wins the Olympic Games, but the Paralympic Games are not first or second. Once you get the answer to that question, the answer to Nigeria's question comes out.
Really?
Yes, it is.
And I also still question even the small budget that they have.
That's right. No.
So but let's not go there. Let's not dive into.
Just shed some light on it. The minister said for every gold medal a Paralympian wins, which is more than what the Olympians had, was $15,000. Second is $10,000. Third is $5,000. And I can tell you authoritatively because this morning we spoke to Francis Obi, and he said Eniola has been giving her $5,000 for winning the bronze medal. So It's a good story for her as well. Let's go for a break right now on the show. We'll share some more conversations when we come back because there's quite a lot we're looking forward to ahead of this weekend's football action.